Oftentimes, when you see me in the kitchen by myself, that means it's going to be an all-cooking show. Now, people always say to me, Paula, when you're doing those cooking schools, and I've just changed over to a plant-based diet, I have no idea what I'm going to be fixing. Well, you want to make sure you get your paper and your pencil, and you want to ring somebody on the phone and tell them that the Abundant Living Show is on, and we are doing Meals in Minutes. Stay by. Well, welcome to Abundant Living. We are glad to be here today with you, and I hope you got your paper and pencils because it is an all-cooking show.
All cooking.
I am Paula Akins, and this is my husband, Curtis Akins.
Good to be here.
You know, a lot of
Meals
times,
in Minutes.
Yeah, Meals in Minutes. A lot of times people will say that I'm making that switch. I'm switching over to the vegetarian diet, and I just do not have enough recipes, or I don't know what to do. And basically, I remember when I made the switch over, I was also perplexed and trying to figure out where I was going with this. And then our daughter came along and said, Mother, why don't you do the recipes you've always done, just change out the ingredients. So we began changing things out, regular milk for soy milk or rice milk or almond milk. We began changing out whole grains, you know, the brown rice and the whole wheat bread. As we began switching things out, whole flours, all those kind of things, you know, we began to just assimilate or move into the vegetarian diet, so much so that...
it was a gradual process,
It
really.
was a gradual process.
Bit by bit, inch by inch, anything's a cinch.
Oh, we did it on time. That was really, really good. Okay. And so with that in mind, this show is actually called Meals in Minutes because it's basically recipes you've always used, but in a healthier type of a format. That's the one thing that I like the most, okay?
And it looks like something that most people are used to eating, too.
That's what we always say in our cooking schools. If we prepare food that no one's ever seen before and does look strange, we really are not going to probably get too many takers. So our theme in our cooking schools are never serve your family strange foods. So when you think about that, then it's better to get things that people are used to seeing.
Yeah.
Just like our very first recipe, Curtis, that we're going to be using on the show today, it's a tamale pie.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to the ingredients.
All right.
It calls for 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 1 cup of onions chopped, 2 cups of mock beef crumbles, 1 8-ounce can of tomatoes diced, 1 8-ounce can of whole kernel corn, 1/2 cup of black olives sliced, and 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, and 1/2 cup of soy Parmesan alternative. Now, this is a real good recipe, a familiar recipe,
yes,
tamale pie.
Sure is.
And just different ingredients. So what I want you to do, start off with, is I want you to go ahead and cut the onion into chunks for me, if you don't mind doing that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and get my stove ready, using a couple of items that perhaps they have not seen before, and that is we got the mock beef crumbles that we're using. It's a simulation of ground beef, but it's not ground beef at all. And we also are using in this recipe the soy Parmesan alternative, which is also an imitation cheese that we're using in the recipe as well. I'm going to go ahead on and get the fire going.
And you have there are different mock burger crumbles on the market.
Absolutely. You can get
and
them
so
frozen.
I guess it depends on what texture you're looking for.
Yeah, depending on the texture you're looking for. This is a frozen, and you can find it in the breakfast section of the freezer section in your grocery store.
Okay.
Okay, where you have the breakfast items. I'm putting in the oil right now, and I'm going to need a spatula, baby.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to let that get hot, and then you're going to put that in as well. Let's get this.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
And people are used to tamale pie.
Tamale pie. Okay. Now, this recipe is going to be calling for. Let's go ahead and let's put the onions on in.
Okay.
Okay, onion chunks.
It's too big?
No, it's fine. Okay. And usually what I like to do is let it just saute for a few minutes because remember now, The tamale pie is going to go into the oven and bake. We've got a cornbread dressing that's going to go with this. We're going to a batter that's going to go with this as well. So you don't have to cook everything from the very beginning, because it will bake. It will cook as it bakes in the oven. Also, the crumbles. I want you to know that the burger crumbles are already done. And so it's just a matter of just kind of sauteing them in with the onions that actually help it to come back to life, or give it the flavor it needs to have as well. I'm going to go ahead on and put in the crumbles.
And can someone use TVP, textured vegetable protein?
Yes. Now let me just say that. The TVP is also in your better grocery stores now. It's a dry mixture. You can get it in a dark brown color to represent beef, or you can get it in a light color to represent that of chicken. Okay, and with that, it's 1 cup of the dry item to 1 cup of hot water. Okay, and this is making a sizzling sound there, so let's just go ahead and turn this down a little bit. Here we go. Because all of the other ingredients are going to go in here, Chris, believe it or not.
Okay.
Okay, let's go ahead on and put in, I want you to go ahead now, let's go ahead and put the diced tomatoes in.
Okay.
It's also a very colorful item. All the goodies, all the goodies, all the goodies. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put in the corn.
Now this is frozen corn or?
Frozen corn, canned corn, whatever's available to you. I like to always do frozen first, and then also fresh, and then canned.
In that order?
In that order.
Okay.
In that order. For nutritional value also. And we're going to go ahead on and put in the tomato sauce.
It looks very good now, colorful.
Okay, very colorful. And get your spatula, baby. Get the spatula.
Okay.
And then we're going to just scoop it all in there.
Yes, baby.
Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put in the black olives. And these are already sliced up. And I've already counted all the olives just in case.
You have counted each one?
Yeah.
Are you sure
just
about that?
in case. I think I did. I believe I did. That's all I can say. And then we're going to go ahead and put in also, let's go ahead. That's the chili powder.
Chili powder.
This is what gives that flavor to it as well.
All right.
Sprinkle that on top.
Gives a nice little kick to it.
All right. Chili powder. Okay.
Now this is the soy Parmesan.
The alternative. It is not cheese. It is an alternative to cheese. It smells like Parmesan. I'm going to put just a half of this.
And it's
into the
cholesterol
mix.
free.
It's cholesterol free. We're going to put some more on top. Okay.
Oh, okay.
See how that smells?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Turn the fire up or?
No, I'm going to put the lid on.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm going to talk about the other part that goes with this, because this is just the filling. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Put that top on. And I would say it would go for about maybe 8 to 10 minutes on low, just to kind of get that seasoning in. And you know what? Because the batter that we're going to be doing in a few minutes is very, very important here. Normally what we do is we let this cool completely down so that when we put it in the batter, it's not so hot that it could cause a problem when you're trying to bake up the actual tamale pie. But because of 3ABN TV, we're going to just skip that part of it cooling down.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to move into the batter. So Curtis, let's go to the ingredients.
Okay.
All right. The crust, 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, aluminum free, 3 tablespoons of canola oil, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 tablespoons of fructose, and 1 1/4 cup of almond milk. Now, I really like this one because we're using, once again, cornmeal that is not degermed. All right, so it's a good whole cornmeal. We're also using pastry flour.
Let's talk about the pastry flour, because it looks white, and so people may think it's white flour, even though you said whole wheat pastry flour.
Whole wheat pastry flour is actually called a summer wheat. You have the 100% whole wheat, and then you have your summer wheats, and the pastry flour is a part of that group. It's got a light texture, almost like that of white flour, except the germ is still available, still there. So it's called a pastry flour, and it's more pliable when you're trying to make pie crust or fillings, much more than a 100% whole wheat.
Okay, so it still has to germinate, still has to be vitamins.
Yes, it's called a summer wheat. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in. We got 1 cup of the cornmeal, and we got 1 cup of the pastry flour. You're also going to put in this, Curtis, if you will, we've got the fructose.
Okay.
This is a raw cane sugar that we're using. okay? And then we're also going to put in the salt as well.
Salt. Okay.
And then we're going to add in the baking powder. All right, this is aluminum-free baking powder that we're using, and we're going to stir this up.
All right.
Okay, and then we're going to turn around and do this. I have 1 1/4 cup of almond milk that we're going to be using. Okay.
Okay. Now again, because some people may use soy milk, or
They can use soy.
they can use soy.
They can use
It'd be a
rice, they
different
can use
texture.
soy, and they can use almond. And all of them, whether it's soy milk, you want to use original soy milk, not with the vanilla in it. If you're going to use the rice milk, same, regular rice milk.
Okay.
And if you're going to use the almond milk, you're going to also use the original almond milk. Any one of these that's got vanilla added to it is going to have more sugar, it's going to change the texture. We're doing a tamale pie. I don't want it to be real sweet, okay?
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and put in the almond milk. All right, 1 1/4 cup.
Just not using cow's milk.
That's right.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
And you're going to go ahead on and put in the actual oil as well.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and if you'll give me let me change my spoon over. And we're going to just
So
mix this
this is
up.
going to be more the cornbread.
Yeah, this is going to be, well, it's a cornbread, but it's going to actually be the base. We're going to put this in our mixture in an 8x8 dish.
Okay.
I was just telling someone that when I've done this before in the past, I've had a 9x13 dish.
Okay.
And when I take the 9x13 glass dish, I lay all the filling, which is the ground beef and the diced tomatoes and everything, on the bottom of my dish, and then I pour on top of it the actual cornmeal batter. But this time we're going to do it a little bit different. What we're going to do this time, we're actually going to take the cornmeal batter and we're going to put it on the bottom first.
Oh, okay.
Okay? On the bottom first.
Let me hold it over.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So just enough to cover the bottom?
I use about half.
Oh, about half?
About half of it.
Okay.
Okay, and just get a little bit more. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Give me your napkin over there, so I can wipe the bowl. Okay, and we're going to sit over there, and once again, we're going to go ahead and add in.
Oh, so you're going to add it in now without cooking it first?
That's
okay.
right. Now remember, this is already done.
Right.
So if you can move these out the way, baby, just move those over.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to put this in the middle. Okay. Remember, now you want to be cool.
All right.
I'm going to put it in the center. And what's going to happen is it's going to come up on the sides, up to top, and around the edges to completely cover. And I think I like about this is that, unless you tell them it's a tamale pie, they're going to slice it up and go into it, and inside the middle is going to be all the filling,
this
the
filling
wonderful
right
filling.
here.
Yes, yes.
I see.
Now all this is going to go in because remember, now this cornbread batter is going to actually come all up. So you want to get everything inside.
How did you come up with this dish?
I've always had a tamale pie dish, and I was just thinking, on one of our shows, an Indian cooking, I believe it was, we did a kind of a doughy bread, and then inside of it, I actually put fillings.
Yes,
and then
I remember
covered
that.
it.
Okay.
And we got so many people called in asking me about that, and I was saying, you know what? Wait a minute. If we can do that with regular, like a biscuit type of a dough, what if we were to do it with a cornmeal batter?
Oh, okay.
And so the cornmeal batter came in handy because we've done it several times, and it is really
Want me to
wonderful.
turn that skillet on the side? Or?
I can do that.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna get. And I know you said we put in all of it.
All of it.
All of it.
All
Remember
of
now,
it.
because the cornmeal is going to come all the way up. All right, and we don't want it to be corny. We want it to be a tamale pie.
Want to be corny.
We don't want it to be corny.
Okay.
We don't want it to be corny. Okay. Now, Curtis, on this part here, all we're going to do is we're going to take very lightly.
Very lightly.
Very lightly. We're going to take and we're going to put this over top, like so. Okay.
Okay. Now, once you finish doing this will bake what?
350 degrees for about 25 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
So this can be a one-dish meal. I mean, well,
it can be.
It can be. I mean, maybe some green vegetables or something, because you have a lot. You got the cornbread or the bread. You have the
your bread's
meat.
already here.
You have your vegetables in there as well.
Right. And I like to kind of like on the edges leave just a little bit of the red. Okay, a little bit of the red on the side, because when it bakes up, you will see a stream of that red there. And I'm going to take a little bit of this Parmesan.
Oh, that's where that comes in.
Okay, and we're going to sprinkle the Parmesan on top. And it's going to then go into the oven. It's going to bake, and at the end of the program, they'll get a chance to see this tamale pie. So you know, this is absolutely delicious. You're going to really like this. Okay, this presentation. And so we're going to move to our very next recipe.
We're probably going to take a break.
Well, let's do that. Let's take a break first, and that way I can go put this in the oven.
Okay, do that.
And then we'll come back and talk about the very next one. So we want you then to just stay by. Well, we want to welcome you back. We are going to go to our very next recipe, which is a skillet shepherd's pie. Let's look at the ingredients. It calls for 1 15-ounce can of kidney beans drained, 1 16-ounce jar of chunky salsa, or 1 cup of mock beef crumbles, or 1 cup of whole kernel corn, or 1 medium carrot shredded, 3 cups of boiled potatoes, or 1/3 cup of hot almond milk, or 1 tablespoon of soy margarine, and 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. Okay, Curtis, this is another real good one. I'm going to go ahead and get our fire started up. And notice in this shepherd's pie. This is another real good one. One that people are used to as well. And I'm going to put in, first of all, let's start up by putting in. This is the crumbles. We're going to go ahead and put in the bulk of crumbles.
No oil?
No.
Okay.
And we're going to put in the beans.
Red kidney beans?
Red kidney beans.
Okay.
Because the thing that's going to give us the liquid we need to have is going to be that chunky salsa. So let's go ahead and start pouring that salsa in for me.
Okay.
All right.
Why is it called a shepherd's pie, honey?
Okay, you know the shepherd's pie, that name originally started when individuals used to have, like, let's say meat.
Okay.
And they would do like a pot roast on a Sunday, and there would be some pot roast left over.
Okay.
And so what would happen was they would take the actual little pieces of the pot roast, add to it the kidney beans and the carrots and the corn and all that, and then they would actually make up this shepherd's pie. And the main thing is the mashed potatoes that goes on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is called a skillet shepherd's pie, so it's a little bit different.
So you're not turning on the oven?
No turning the oven on this one. All right. Go ahead and let's put the corn in.
Okay.
All the goodies. And then let's get the carrots, shredded carrots. You can see this is a lot of like we say leftovers. However, you can see I'm using all fresh ingredients. It's okay. We're going to stir that around.
These are fresh leftovers.
Okay, we're going to stir it around. And as you already said, Curtis, basically when you're talking about doing this particular shepherd's pie, you always like put it into a casserole dish, and then you take your mashed potatoes and put it all on top. Put a little bit of cheese on it. We're going to be using a soy Parmesan cheese, and then you would actually just put it in the oven for about 25 minutes, about 325 degrees. But this is called a skillet shepherd's pie, which means we're going to make it on top of the stove, okay?
Oh, okay.
On top of the stove.
Okay, on top.
Okay, now, we've already done the mashed potatoes because of expediency's sake. The mashed potatoes are ready to go. And what happens is once this cooks up, and once again, it doesn't take a long time because remember now the meat is already done. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit more, a little bit more.
Got the ice cream
got
scoop.
My scoop ready to go. And this one here I like because you actually make it on top of the stove. Look at the color.
So it just stays in the skillet?
It stays in the skillet. Skillet shepherd's pie.
Skillet shepherd's pie.
And what we do is after it comes to like a boil, you can see it starting already to get your bubbles going on, then you would actually just take your scoop and you would just put in.
I want to do one of those.
Okay, I'll give you the thing so you can do one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Turn it down even more. All right.
And one more?
Yep.
How am I doing, honey?
You're doing fine. You're scooping it down, and what's happening is you're messing with the aesthetics of...
oh, so I'm messing things up a little bit?
Well, you know, we want the potato to be where the potato is.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Maybe I'm at a bad angle. Maybe that's the reason why.
That could be.
Yeah,
it could be. It could be. You know what I'm saying?
I think
it could
it's
be.
the angle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the angle.
Yeah, it's the angle, baby.
You put one there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put one in the middle. So that when a person scoops up their shepherd's pie, they get a little bit of the mashed potatoes as well. And you can see this is quick and easy, has a wonderful, wonderful flavor. Okay, and I like to sprinkle on top of it a little bit of the Parmesan.
Soy Parmesan alternative.
There you go.
Oh, you're working it now, baby. You work it. Okay.
And you know what? We have done these 2 recipes. Now, someone's asking a question. Is there going to be a dessert? And the answer is yes. We're going to be doing some chewy bran bars. Let's go to the ingredients. It calls for 2 tablespoons of soy margarine, 1/4 cup of peanut butter, 1/2 cup of honey, 1 1/2 cup of walnuts chopped, 1 teaspoon of coriander ground, 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, 2 cups of whole bran cereal, 1/2 cup of raisins, and 1/8 teaspoon of sea salt. Now, this is a real good favorite, and it's one of those desserts you can actually cook on top of the stove. You don't even have to turn the oven on once again. Talk about meals and meals, fixing things up real quick. Now, this one here, Curtis, believe it or not, shredded wheat.
Yes, wheat bran cereal.
Yeah, they usually don't care for shredded wheat. You know, it says nothing to it.
No taste, no sugar.
Some people say it's like hay, but there's some new shredded wheat on the market. That's just a little itty bitty whole bran. These are whole bran cereal, shredded wheat and shredded wheat family. Okay?
So you just crunch them up?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I got a couple for you.
Oh.
Here you go.
Okay, what I'm supposed to...
You're actually going to just crumble it up.
Oh, okay.
With your hand. Okay. I'm going to give you these to do as well. It's because I'm going to go ahead and turn the stove on. How about that?
Oh, okay. So regular bran cereal.
Regular bran cereal.
It's a good thing it doesn't have a taste to it or just kind of bran, so you can just... Bland, I mean, so you can just whatever add to that.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Okay. And if you will give me a spoon here.
All right.
Just take the spoon. I'm going to go ahead and put in the margarine. We're going to
That's
melt that
margarine.
soy margarine. We're going to melt that first. And then as that's melting, we're going to go ahead and add in. Give me a spatula, baby. We're going to add in the peanut butter.
Can you use this? Big enough?
This is all natural peanut butter that we're using as well.
In the ingredients, it just has peanuts and a little salt. And that's about it.
That's all.
Not
natural
all the
peanut butter.
that you
Natural
normally
peanut
have.
butter. Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and add in the honey.
All right.
And this is actually going to come to a boil, believe it or not. It's all going to melt, and it's going to form, it's going to bubble up on us.
Chewy bran bars.
Chewy bran bars.
From the bran cereal. That's your base.
Good way to get that in.
All right.
Good way to get that combination in. Let me hold that for me. Let me go ahead and stir this around a little bit. Now, believe it or not, if you can't find the bran cereal that's out, you can do regular shredded wheat. You do your shredded wheat, and then you're going to crumble it up as well, and then you can use a little bit of bran flakes. And if you do bran I had the same problem before with this. Bran flakes.
I got you, baby.
If you do that also as well, then you would use 1 tablespoon of the bran flakes in there, okay?
Okay.
I'm just actually mixing this around here. It's going to start bubbling in a few minutes. And
so this would make the bran kind of stick together?
Help to make it stick together. Help to make it stick together. Okay, and notice now I'm using coriander in a place of cinnamon. Cinnamon can become an irritant, so we're going to use the coriander.
Of the stomach.
And it also goes very well with this particular dessert, okay? Curtis, go ahead on. Okay, it's about to come to a boil. Next? I want you to go ahead and add in now the vanilla. This is vanilla that has no alcohol, alcohol-free.
Alcohol-free.
All righty. And then, and you know, give me that spatula because I see some of the peanut butter is on the edge of my spoon there. We don't want to stick that in there because I don't want it to melt.
Oh, okay.
Let's just take and do this.
Yeah, good move, baby.
Okay. All right. And then we're going to add in the coriander. And last, that 1/8 salt.
Salt.
Okay. Ooh, that smells good. Doesn't it smell good? Okay. Now, I usually put all this in the pot at one time, but so you can see what's going on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the stove off, because once it comes to a boil, you're to turn it off. Okay, we don't want that peanut butter and stuff to burn. Now, we're going to go ahead on and add to that. Let's put the raisins in.
In there? Okay.
1/2 cup of raisins going in.
All right.
And we're going to go ahead on and put in the walnuts.
Okay. Now, this smells good. Oh, yes, it does.
All righty. Okay.
It is kicking.
And I usually just take and stir it around a little bit to get that mixed in because we're getting ready to take all of this and put it in. No.
Oh,
we're gonna
in
put
there.
it in with the cereal.
Oh, I
first.
see.
Get
Then
that.
you mix it all in.
Yep, and give me that special so we can get all the goodies, all the goodies. And I'm going to let you start stirring that up too. Make sure we get it all.
It's going to be a good dessert here.
I'm going to get a harder spoon.
You want this one?
Let's do this one. No, I'm going to use that at the end.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're going to take and get all the goodies out, baby. Got anything else in there? We got it all?
Well, we got just a little bit, but
okay. Well,
it's not going to make that much of a difference, I don't think, baby. Maybe I'll just keep this here so I can lick the pot.
All I'm going to do is just mix this together. And believe it or not, you'll mix it, and then we're going to transfer it into that 8x8 dish. All right? We're going to mix this all together. And you know what? We're going to go away. When we come back, you will see everything we have prepared today. So stay by. Well, we have come to the end of the program.
Yes, we have. Meals in Minutes.
Just completed our tamale pie first we did.
Yes, we
and
have.
for the tamale pie, we did the skillet shepherd's pie, and we did the chewy bran bars.
Looks good,
So,
yes.
Meals in Minutes.
Meals in Minutes, and we did this in minutes. Is that true? All right.
That's a true statement.
Very good. And all the olives are there. You can check them
Yes,
too.
I already checked them.
All
Yes.
right. Well, let's close out. John 10:10, Jesus said, I come, that they might have life and have it more abundantly. See you next time.